Looking for new construction, a decent amount of opportunity down on the South Shore. I'm joined right now by Greg Murphy from Wycott Realtors in Easton. Greg, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Now, a lot of the areas in and around Boston are just really tight with inventory and land for new construction. Down your way in the Easton, Bridgewater areas, there is new construction being built.
There is. We got a pretty good amount of inventory down there too. In such towns like Brockton, Bridgewater, Foxborough. I got a couple of new subdivisions myself, and price points, somewhere around mid fives to high sevens.
And which is in today's world affordable, a lot more affordable,
yes.
Compared to some of the stuff closer to the city.
Exactly. That stuff's kind of, for the average home buyer, I found for the most part kind of untouchable. A lot of the new construction I sell is actually to people from the Boston area that can't touch anything in the price points in and around the cities that they're in, so they come out to the suburbs that way and pick something up.
And even for the commuter who's going to Boston or maybe even Providence, right?
Yep.
Those towns are accessible.
Yeah, you got, like Brockton has 3 different commuter rail stops. Foxborough and Mansfield have a commuter rail stop. So everything's really accessible for the commuter, whether they want to drive in or take a train.
Now, everybody wants new, right? In
Everyone
today's
wants new.
world, on turnkey, walk in and have brand new everything. For somebody that's starting to look, what should they be aware of when it comes to new construction?
Well, what you want to be aware of when you're dealing with new construction is you want to look at what the specs are from the builder. Like, what are they offering for standard home? You're going to see pictures and photos and things in MLS and online, and those are usually all upgrades. So you got to really take a hard look at the specs, see what it is that they're giving you so that you can really get a realistic cost as to the home in your head is going to match the price on the piece of paper.
That, I'm throwing out a number, but the $599,900,
yes,
with the picture, especially in some of these developments, don't necessarily match, like you said, the upgrades. You have to dig in a little bbit further.
A lot of times, especially because of like Pinterest and that sort of thing, like, sometimes people will come in when they sit down with us and they'll have like, an iPad with photos of everything that they've snagged off of Pinterest or Instagram. They're like, we want this, we want this, we want this. And, you kind of have to let them know, we can build anything you want, but what's your budget?
Right.
So that's kind of really what it comes down to.
Well, people say typically with new construction that you end up about 10% above the purchase price. Do you see that to be a good guide?
Yeah, that's definitely fair and safe. I would say, especially with us, we do offer a really good amount of upgrades as sort of a standard. So, we're pretty much hardwood floors on the whole first floor, hardwood stairs, and hardwood in the hallway. So you're really only getting carpeting in the bedrooms.
Sure.
So if someone's looking to put hardwoods throughout, they're just paying for the upgrade in the bedrooms.
Okay.
And granite is pretty much standard, everywhere, in the kitchens, in the baths. So there's not too much that, if you want to go a little crazy and get some quartz or something like that, or upgrade the appliances, yeah, you can spend money. So 10% is safe. I'd say that if you're buying something from us that we're building, you could probably even be safe with like 5%.
Okay.
So not too bad.
Good rule of thumb. Financing. That's can run you down 2 different paths. Sometimes it's the end loan, sometimes it's a construction loan.
Correct.
That can affect the buyer as well.
That can definitely affect the buyer. That can also affect delivery time. What you want to make sure when you're buying new construction, you want to ask, is the builder going to deliver me a finished product that I need to get a loan for? Or is he going to just GC, general contract, the thing, and I need to get a construction loan and pay him as he goes? So for the most part, in one respect, when the builder is giving you a finished product, all the risk lays with the builder because he's stuck with the home. You have to get the loan at the end. If not, he owns it. The other way, if you're doing a construction loan, there's really no risk with the builder. You're getting the loan, you're paying him for the land and for a good start up front, and then you're going to get like a draw as he completes things along the way. But for the most part, at that point in time, the buyer is on the hook for the property and for the finished product. The builder is dragging his feet. The buyer's the one paying for that. So it's something you got to be careful.
And sometimes you don't have an option, but if you find that home that's only requiring the end loan, you're not paying on anything until they put the keys in your hand.
Correct. That's really the way to do it. The only thing that you end up doing when you get an end loan product, there's really just 2 things that you have to be aware of. One, there's going to be 2 appraisals. The first appraisal is going to be done as soon as the thing is basically like up and framed. Appraisal will go out, he'll take the specs, he'll basically price out the home according to the specs, and then there'll be a second appraisal when the home's finished. He goes back out, makes sure that it's built to the specs and the house is complete before the bank gives the payment on it. The other thing that you have to be a little aware of is, like we were just talking about, upgrades.
The upgrades can affect it.
The upgrades can affect that. You got to make sure that your lender is willing to maybe adjust the purchase price from the original purchase and sales, because as you start building, you're going to go into the kitchen place, upgrade some kitchen cabinetry, upgrade some appliances, so you're going to end up possibly, or 99%, with a higher purchase price than that appraisal is. So you need to make sure that the lender is going to be able to allow you to finance that in, because if you're planning on having to pay for that out of pocket and you have to put like 20% down on top of that, you could be in a situation where you don't have the money.
It changes the game. So definitely want to connect with the listing agent, the builder, to find out, get that stuff taken care of up front in regards to upgrades if you can, because it's going to help you down the road,
right,
and eliminate any potential hurdles with financing. Can be taken care of.
It can be.
But it adds a little bit of extra stress to the
other thing
situation.
you have to also take into account is rate lock. So if you're getting that finished product loan, depending upon the time of the year you're building, like we're going into the winter now. A couple of years ago we had that monstrosity of a winter where we had like 2 feet of snow, on top of each other, and that delayed things. So you got to make sure that whatever lender you're working with, that they are seasoned when it comes to new construction, and you definitely talk about when you're going to lock in that rate and make sure that the builder's going to be able to deliver the property by that time.
It's kind of like landing a plane, right? You don't know when you're going into the city what weather you're going to hit,
right,
and how you're going to have to do it, but working with a professional definitely makes a difference. If you're in the Easton area and looking for new construction, want to connect with Greg directly, best way to do so is gregsellsyourhome.com?
Yeah, gregsoldmyhouse.com.
gregsoldmyhouse.com. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
And remember, we have more real estate tips just like this right here on boston.com.